Chapter 9. Uncle Stephen understands. Uncle Stephen is happy. Finally, he can work in peace. He makes a cup of tea and goes into his study. On his desk there is the old book of mysteries and the silver brooch with the strange symbol. He takes the brooch in his hand and looks at it. He knows it is part of the mystery. But how? The circle is similar to Stonehenge. The triangle is similar to the hills around it. But what does the cross mean? Uncle Stephen recognizes the symbol, but where from? He drinks some more tea. He thinks. He looks out of the window. From the window he can see the strange hill in the village and the strange stone cross on the top of it. Wait a minute, he thinks. The strange stone cross. He looks at the brooch. Yes, it's the same. He quickly turns to a page in his old book of mysteries. He reads something and shouts, "Yes, now I understand. Now I understand. I must telephone Professor Johnson in London." He takes the phone and calls the number. "Hello, Professor. It's Stephen Morrell here. Listen, we must meet. Can I bring the book to you in London? It's not safe here. There's a train at 5 o'clock this evening. It gets to London at 7 o'clock. Yes. See you at the station. Goodbye. And thank you." He puts the phone down and picks up his cup of tea. "I'm sure that tea's cold now," says a cold voice behind him. He turns quickly and sees the shadow of Mrs. Black in the door. "What are you doing here?" he asks angrily. "You don't work today. What do you want?" Mrs. Black's earrings shine in the sun. "You know what I want, Morrell," she says. "Give me that book." Chapter 10. A doctor's visit. Max and Laura play near a river for some time. Later go back to the cottage. Everything is quiet. They don't have a key, so they knock on the door. Nobody answers. They knock again and Mrs. Black answers the door. She is wearing an apron and she has a rolling pin in her hand. She says, "Hello, children. I'm making a delicious chocolate cake for lunch. Your Uncle Stephen doesn't feel very well. Your parents aren't here, and I want to help." "What do you mean?" "Uncle Stephen's fine," says Max. "He has a headache and a temperature." Mrs. Black replies, "He works too hard. This is very strange. Uncle Stephen is never ill." Max and Laura don't believe the housekeeper. "I want to talk to my uncle," says Laura. "Me too," says Max. Mrs. Black is a big woman. She stands in the door and the twins can't pass. "It's not a good idea," she tells them. "Your uncle is upstairs. He's resting." "I want to see my uncle now," repeats Laura. "You can't see him. There is a doctor with him now," Mrs. Black shouts. Laura pushes the woman and she falls to the floor. Max runs past her too. They go to the study hut. Their uncle is not there. They run upstairs. "Uncle Stephen, are you all right?" shouts Laura, but there is no answer. Max opens the bedroom door. Uncle Stephen is lying on